This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hi, Jason Glick.
Hey, John, how's it going?
Not bad. What do you have on store for us tonight?
Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to welcome back my good friend Steve. Hey, Steve.
Oh dear. Hello, everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, Steve. Welcome back. Long time no hear.
I'm so sorry to submit all of you to my voice again, but here we go.
Yeah, it's like you didn't do anything with us last year I guess we just didn't find the time. So I guess we're having you back again this week to make up for it.
Let's get this show on the road.
Yeah. So, the main reason I wanted to have you back is because we're talking. The focus this week is going to be on a couple of series that I know we've both read in scanlated form, and we wanted to give great props to. It's as they're kicking off their English language run, and I guess it's kind of hard to say which one to start with because they're both excellent.
Quite.
Right?
Yes.
Yes, and that's going to make a nice break from our talk last week. So I guess let's go into Silver Spoon, right?
Sure. So, well, the thing I like about both of the titles we're talking about this week is because they both start in a well-worn setting, the high school, the Japanese high school, right? But they go different places with them, right? One, Silver Spoon's about it's an agricultural high school, right? So you don't have a lot of the usual happy tropey antics. You've got a dude who's just trying to, who's a city boy who's trying to make his way on a fucking farm, right? And then in Kaguya-sama, you've got the school's just a setting, and it's mostly just about a couple people at the start, at least. It's about a couple people just trying to outmaneuver each other in the war game of love.
Yes, and I think that's kind of what we want to talk about because, I guess you and I are both aged individuals at this point, and so when
we're fucking decrepit.
Yes, as far as these titles are concerned, as far as the target audience for these titles are concerned, because it's we're us getting up in our 30-something age areas. It's we don't have time for the standard bullshit that accompanies your standard Japanese high school comedy. In fact, we should probably be ashamed that we're even talking about Japanese high school stuff at this point in our life. God damn it! but it's I think it's to both of these titles' credit that they're able to transcend that setup and offer something new. Because with Silver Spoon, I'm honestly surprised it took it this long to get a proper English release. Because I figured, because this is from mangaka Hiromu Arakawa, who is best known as the creator of Fullmetal Alchemist, and God knows everyone loves that series. Sold lots of copies in the U.S. And you figured that okay, you just slap on from the creator of Fullmetal Alchemist to this title, and you think that okay, this is going to sell like gangbusters. But no, apparently. In fact, it's not even coming from Viz, who is the English language front for publishers Shueisha and Shogakukan. It's coming to us from Yen Press, which I'd really love to know about the negotiating logistics that allowed such a setup. But hey, it's here in the U.S., in English, and I'm glad to give Arakawa my money for it. Because as you mentioned, Steve, it's like I said, this is it's definitely a lot different than your standard high school series in the sense that it's about this kid Hachiken Yugo who has shown up at Ezo Agricultural High School in Hokkaido, Japan. Now he's as you mentioned, he's like a city boy, and you're wondering why the hell is this kid shown up in a agricultural high school way up in the northern province of Japan, and the first couple of chapters are focused on showing him way out of his element, just dealing with with the calf that's that he's trying to rope in and secure for one of his classes, being rescued from being out in the middle of fucking nowhere, but by a girl on a horse, and also being finding out about the uniquely specialized knowledge that these high school kids have about it's like about farm life and all. So it's but so it's really, so like I said, it's a, yeah, it is high school life, but it's like, it's safe to say that, like, it's not the kind of high school life that you and I like really kind of like encountered when we were growing up. I mean, unless, like, I'm right in this, aren't I, Steve? I mean, like, were you an agricultural high school kid and all?
I'm afraid I didn't even know what an agricultural high school was, or that they even existed.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of like what we're going here. In fact, from what I understand, that Arakawa, this is kind of like the her career path, like at first, until she broke into manga with with her success, and this is kind of like her way of, like, I guess, giving back to the like the way of life that she was raised into, for lack of a better term. And it's also fun to see like some of the touchstones from Full Metal Alchemist observed here, because Alexander Armstrong is the PE teacher here, and there's also lots of bits about him drinking milk here as well. And of course, like, she retains her especially cow persona in the it's like in the it's like in the making of bits at the end, at the back of the volume. But like what the series like really succeeds in just showing, like, is really just like illustrating us like this this like kind of like high school experience that most people would not have like normally experienced. And that's I think that's really kind of cool. Like, just the like, from its, whether it's like, Hachiken, getting to know, it's like, like, let's see, what am I trying to say? Oh, just like the crazy business of like early, like, waking up to do like early high school maintenance on the like on the farms there. It's like cleaning eggs, learning where eggs come from. Good Lord. Yeah, it's like, and then joining the equestrian club to clean out, and getting the freshman joy of cleaning out the stables. It's like, and also learning the joy of Japanese Ban-A racehorses, which seems like kind of like their like rustic equivalent of tractor pulls in the U.S., for lack of a better.
I hadn't even thought of that analogy, but it's pretty fitting.
Yeah, it's very rustic, like, compared to, like, the urban life that we usually get in these kind of stories. But it's all better for it. And yeah, there's lots of goofy slapstick like in the course of the series, but it's also still really like still pretty grounded, like, in the end, when it comes to just like showing you what Hashkin has to go through. I mean, it's kind of funny to see that even though it's like he cannot when tests come around, like, he could not score number one in any course that he goes to, because everyone's knowledge is so specialized. But he still winds up being the number one student in the school, because he's so good in every other, like, in every other class, in every other student, in every other class. But it's also interesting because it's like it hints at his backstory, as because we learn that why does this kid want to go out to this this boonies high school in Hokkaido. And while you and I both know this, the answer to this, it's like there's a good, like, because it's hinted at that there's family drama at home. It's like in this first volume, and that's kind of cool. So, like, I mean, well, cool in the sense that it provides a nice dramatic hook, as far as like you want to know why, like, he came out here. And it also points out, I also want to bring up the fact that, yes, like, this is a series I read in scanlated form, and like I said, I desperately want to see this succeed, because it's really, so far it's really good. It's like, and and while the series has had a very irregular serialization schedule as it gets towards the end in Japan, I can vouch for the fact that like, this first volume is really good. It's like, and it's only going to get better and more interesting from here. Steve, your thoughts on how the series progresses?
I'm not all the way kept up with it. I think I'm all right. Well, obviously, no spoilers. dude, I don't even know how to start. Let's just say I think it progresses very interestingly. I think all the characters get their due. They're all interesting in their own way. It's a large ensemble cast.
Yes.
I mean, it's still centered around Hotchkin, and it's largely centered around him. I mean, lots of characters like revolve around him, and they have. Sorry.
Yeah, Hotchkin is kind of like he's first among equals here.
Yes, he is the pig in Animal Farm. He is more equal than the rest. He's a good character for. He's a good main character because he represents the city boy and thrown into an unfamiliar farming life where everyone else is like a specialist in some form of like farming or agriculture or just self-sufficiency, right? So it's interesting to see him adapt to this life, and it's nice to see a series that doesn't fall back on the old high school tropes. It's like it's a lot of the series is about like hard questions about farming, like the economics of it, food production. It's I don't know. Look, I might be getting old. My age definitely shows here, but infrastructure is interesting to me.
Agreed. It's like just like I said, the logistics of this. It's like I said, it's an experience that majority of us like aren't going to have a lot of knowledge about. And I think it works really well from that. So and Arakawa does do a good job of creating a lot of interesting characters, and I think like the slapstick and comedy elements also like are generally pulled off pretty well too.
Yeah. It's I think it does a good balance of seriousness and comedy. It gets serious, but never. I don't know about you. I never felt like it got dark. It never got like really dark. It got serious, but not dark.
Yeah, it's like you're definitely right about that. And everyone like reading the series will understand what we mean once Hotchkin's dad finally gets into the picture. Because I mean, it's like I said, he's not villainous. It's like he's just kind of like he's particularly driven. He's got a very specialized idea of what constitutes success, I get, and how to get there.
In a way, I mean, he's a parent who wants the best for his kids.
And he's got a very specific idea of how to achieve that best.
Right. It's this may be a familiar concept to those who grew up with tiger moms or tiger parents in general. That concept that the parent knows best and how best to guide the kid's life, and if the kid is doing otherwise, they're fucking up their life. Just wait until we meet Hotchkin's brother. Yes, he's another interesting character. Hotchkin's dad is the source of a lot of his suffering and anguish, but as the series progresses,
he's not
okay.
Like I said, he's not a villain.
He's not a villain. He's just strict.
Yeah,
he's just very, very strict.
Yeah, he's got his own ideas about how to achieve success, and he's not wrong, but the way he goes about it is just kind of like, yeah, there you go. But like that's our pitch for like why you should keep reading this series. I mean, it's up to volume, I believe, 14 in Japan. So so Young Press should be putting out this like new volumes like regularly on a bi-monthly schedule, and hopefully by the time they're caught up, the Japanese release will be finished, because it's been teetering on the on completion for a while now. But apparently Arakawa has had had some family drama to contend with, as well as the ongoing publication of the heroic legend of Arslan to contend with as well.
What's been going on there? I don't keep up with these things.
Apparently, like when the most recent hiatus from like Shonen Sunday, where the series is published, so that this is like sometime last year, when we got that burst of like that 3-chapter burst of from the series. And apparently she said that like there was some kind of like family, like she was taking care of a family member. So apparently that's what's holding up the series. But at the same time though, she's also busy with Arslan. So it's kind of like, like doing like, 2 series at once. I mean, that's kind of crazy that like is reserved for like either if you're in Japan or if you're John Romita Jr. in America. So yeah, it's like I imagine that Arslan it's been like that it hasn't been put on hiatus yet, so I imagine that's probably drawing her probably her attention at the moment. But even so, it's like Silver Spoon is like teetering on the edge of completion. It's just going to require, hopefully, like by the time like the U.S. release is caught up, like it'll be done in Japan. So we'll see how that goes. But in the end, this is absolutely worth your money. As is another series that's been running in Japan for a while, and that you yourself recommended to me, Steve. Kaguya-sama, Love Is War, which is by all accounts like on the surface a borderline standard like Japanese like a high school romantic comedy, but not really.
Yes, on the surface. But I mean, the series goes into other directions as it goes on. Good directions, I should say, in my opinion. But when it starts out, it's the opening chapters are all-out war between our 2 main characters who are trying to get the other one to declare their love for the other, because the person who declares their love loses.
Yeah, because I mean, setup is basically like you've got these 2 like high-ranking students at this ultra prestigious Japanese academy, Shuichi Academy. And it's like its student council president is Miyuki Shirogane, who is like he's like an ordinary student, that doesn't like someone who got in like purely based on his academic skills alone, but he's got like an ordinary family background. And the vice president is Kaguya, who is she is like heir to like a ultra prestigious Japanese family, and even though like we're told at the beginning that they started working together as president and vice president, and like they kind of like it's like they kind of like, oh well, it's like nice to meet you, we're gonna work well together. It's like hey, and they're both mutually thinking like, hey, like I might consider giving this person the time of day if they prostrated themselves before me. And as things go on, as that first chapter goes on and tells us that, hey, well, they've been working together for a while, and like they're like, no, I've got to make the other person confess to me because like I really like this person. It's like, but I can't confess to them because to confess to them would be weakness. yeah, it's a great like take on the standard romantic comedy tropes. It's like it's like like most like romantic comedy stories just kind of like have these people like saying, oh, like, oh, I hate you. It's like, I don't know, and but eventually we grow to like each other, and we'll end the series with us devoting our love to each other. But this series kind of like demonstrates a remarkable self-awareness of these tropes, and like lives to subvert them at just about every corner. It's like just starting right from the beginning too.
I really like where it's going. I like how the story continues to be nice and original, despite its very tropey and well-worn setting and beginnings.
Yeah, it's like, and I think that one of the reasons this first volume is mainly just concerned with Kaguya and it's like and Shirogane just kind of like trying to find various ways to get the other one to confess. With Kaguya's how cute bit, just like echoing is kind of like the standard for like as a funny rejoinder to the standard romantic comedy tropes. that these series traffic in. But then you've got bits where like they both where it's like where they're like Kaguya and Shirogane are engaged in a life or death battle of old maid in order to get the other one to confess, to take them to like a movie. And just as Shirogane realizes that, oh, hey, I've won and I've tricked like Kaguya from getting me to ask her out to this thing, and then he realizes, oh wait, I tricked her from I tricked to trick myself out from spending some time with her, and then he has to find a way to set things up to actually get them to go on this go see this movie together as a date. And then when they actually do go on the date, and Kaguya is trying to employing all of her family's resources to hey, we're gonna show up at the movie at just the right time. Ha, what a coincidence. And I was using all my family members and all of our servants to work together, and it's so we could arrive at the same time. But then they have to figure out, how do we sit together without getting the other one to realize that we want to sit together in the same way as well. And it just leads to sublimely ridiculous complications.
Yeah, lots of echoes of what's that scene from The Princess Bride with the iocane?
Yes. Where it's like ha, I knew that I couldn't convince you to do this, so I said this.
Yes, it's lots of echoes of that throughout the series, which it's not a bad touchstone to work from, because if you're not a terrorist, then you enjoyed that section from The Princess Bride.
Yes, yeah, and also I think that even though the first volume may give the impression that it's the potential for the series is kind of limited in the sense that it's going to be them trying to outwit each other. It's as the series goes on, and yeah, that would be really annoying if it just that was the premise. But I think what gives the series legs is that it really kind of as it goes, it really kind of blossoms into an ensemble comedy. It's we were introduced to Fujiwara, Kaguya's childhood friend, who is kind of a cute, oblivious beacon of chaos, in the series.
Yeah. She seems to exist solely to blow up certain scenes, but later on, she becomes her own character too, sort of. Yes, though mostly she does exist to blow scenes up.
Indeed, it's and we get to meet the student council treasurer Ishigami. We get to know Kaguya's I can't remember her name off the top of my head right now. Hayasaka. Yes.
Oh, her poor personal assistant.
Yes, who just sees through all who acknowledges the craziness that she's going through with Shirogane, and just says, why don't you two just confess? Just get it over with. And then also when we get much later, we get Mikio Ino, who's the very straight-laced challenger to Shirogane as student council president. But she just has her own oblivious weaknesses as well. It's like I said, even though the focus is just going to be on who confesses to each other each of their first, the series has legs in terms of as an actual ensemble comedy as things go on. So yeah, it's I'm very glad to see that Viz licensed this for release, and I can actually give its creator Aka Akasaka my money for it, because it's great.
Yes.
I am kind of curious as to why Viz decided to do this right now, because it's it's one of those things where it's okay, do they just see printing publishing a high school romance comedy, however subversive as it is as a license to print money, or could this be or could the works to make this a anime series already be a done deal? Because there's another series that I've been talking about a while ago that that I was kind of like puzzled as to why Viz would publish it, because it seems like, why would you do a series like this? Because it seems like just so out there as far as what the Japanese what the I guess what the like American manga reading mainstream likes in terms of stuff like you're tell me that you're going to publish a period series set after the Japanese Russo War, about a guy about a survivor from that war who teams up with an Ainu girl in order to get a ton of money, this hidden treasure of gold. It's yeah, I'm glad you guys are doing this, but what kind of commercial potential does a series like this have? Then, as it turns out, they're making an anime out of it that's airing right now, and it's and that would be Golden Kamuy, which it's its first volume. I finally convinced Steve to pick up when we were out in LA last couple of weeks, so a week ago. So Steve, it's I've already said on our blog how much I love this series. So you love this series too, right? Right? You're not gonna let me down now, right? Right, man? Not gonna let me down.
Okay, look. The way it opens feels a lot like I don't know. I don't know how you'd classify something like is there a good genre classification for something like Inuyasha, where the opening is here's an objective, here's a possibly infinite number of things we have to do to achieve that objective. Let's go do it. I mean, that's pretty much how Golden Kamuy opens. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's inherently bad. I'm just saying...
the difference is I think Golden Kamuy is slated for 12 episodes, and Inuyasha ran for 150 or so.
1 hojillion, yes.
Yes, it ran for so long that they had to do a separate final season after they canceled the series the first time. To they just say, hey, all you Inuyasha fans, here's how it ends, okay?
Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, look, I don't know how this is going to end. What I'm saying is that they've set themselves up in a somewhat generic way, right? There's treasure they need to get. There's a possibly infinite number of treasure map pieces they need to collect, though in a rather grisly fashion, I will admit. Go. And that's pretty much how the story begins. At least that's what I saw from the first episode of the anime, which is the only one I've seen. I have not seen anything else. I haven't read any of the manga. That's where I am. Okay,
so you're gonna keep watching the anime then?
Yeah. I mean, it was a bit darker than I thought it would be. From when I hear about these sorts of series, it looked sort of generic. It's kind of dark, kind of like where it's going. I'll stay with it for now.
Okay, yeah, but I will say you do realize that they can just copy the map pieces that are tattooed onto these prisoners' skins, onto just regular paper.
They could, but that would be too boring.
Well, it's I'm gonna spoil it for you and say that Asurpa, she's the kind of girl that will go for the boring option, but you're going to quickly introduce people who also see that, hey, it's I'm gonna make a vest out of these things.
Okay, all right. Oh, did you already explain what it is that we're talking about?
I mean, I've talked about Golden Kamuy, the first 3 volumes on the blog so far. So basically, I mean, it's like I said, it's basically a period the action adventure series about this guy, Immortal Sugimoto. Named so because after all the scars and bullet wounds he got in the Russo-Japanese War, he still lived because he's a hardy motherfucker. And yes, and he lives through this because he's got a goal that he wants to restore this, get enough money to send this the well, it's kind of like the love of his life, but like his best friend wound up marrying her because Sugimoto went off to war, and now now that his best friend is dead, it's like he wants to make sure his wife gets the operation she needs to restore her sight back in the good old U.S. of A. But he needs this this money, which is like this gold this gold store, which is tattooed on the on the skin of all these prisoners from this guy who is a former member of the Shinsengumi and wants to create his own his own land for the people who were disenfranchised by the shogunate and the government in the war itself. Did I get everything right?
Maybe. I don't know. You're the expert here, not me.
Okay. I guess after one episode then. Okay. So.
Hey, spoilers. You suck.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, I remember hearing that apparently our crazy Shinsengumi ex Shinsengumi guy is voiced by none other than Joji Nakata, who's done great crazy over the years as the voice of Alucard from Hellsing and the Count of Monte Cristo from Gankutsuo. So he's probably gonna be a lot of fun once he finally shows his face.
Oh yes, he does. He does have a good track record with intense crazy dudes, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, it's like his Alucard, definitely a guy who really enjoys his job.
Yeah, I got that impression.
Yeah, and also, I guess to wrap things up, though, it's to follow up on our discussion from last week. Steve actually sat down and read through all that's been scanlated of Spotted Flower, which is the not follow-up to Genshiken from its creator.
Yes. I'm not as caught up as you. I'm only caught up to the point where, I think Not Saki has her kid.
Well, I got bad news for you, Steve. Because shit happens after that to the point where it's kind of like I'm basically marinating in anger, rage, disappointment at what Not Madarame has done after that.
All right then. Tell me about what Not Madarame has done.
Well, you see, Not Madarame. Well, remember, after Not Saki had her kid, Not Kosaka showed up to to help with to offer as moral support, in this thing, in the birth, and that kind of Not Madarame was kind of upset by that, right?
Probably. I mean, you'll have to tell me.
Okay, so you have? I thought you got that far. I mean,
afraid not. I only got, like I said, up to the point where her kid was born.
Yeah, and Not Kosaka is there too. So
yeah, that's the thing. I only saw the preview, the preview of what would be the following volumes, and yeah, I saw Not Kosaka show up, but that's about it.
Okay, well, let's just say that Not Madarame apparently gets really emo and dramatic and upset. Not towards not Saki about this, but it's kind of in the way that you'd expect he would be, and it's when he explains this to Not Hato, who has acquired a nice pair of silicone breasts and is fully living the not female life in this series. It's one of those things where it's kind of what happens after that. It's oh God. I mean, it's I was hoping that Shimoku was just teasing us with this, Not Madarame would just eventually do the right thing, or just do the right thing just through inaction or something. But something happens that basically makes me go, why? God, why? It's oh, it's so
Jason, come back to us. Jason, come back to us. Come back to us. You're talking into space. You're talking into space. Come back. Come back.
Okay, so I guess full spoilers for Spotted Flower, which is a scanlated series that I have no idea if Kodansha USA is going to bring over. And I would like to say that if they do read, if they do read this, and they think like, oh, we're not gonna like quote unquote ruin Genshiken by doing this. But basically, Not Madarame gets so emo about Not Kosaka showing up and offering support to Not Saki that he feels that, oh, it's like they're just trying to make things so easy for me, and like because they don't believe I can handle this. And he's telling this to Not Hato, and he's like, so okay, it's like, and so like Not Hato interprets as saying, yeah, it's like you basically see this as a reason for us for like trying to like do something adult. Basically like like stain yourself and like get Not Saki back for doing this, and like Not Madarame is like, yeah, and so he basically like this says, yeah, it's like I'm gonna like have sex with you, and but it gets because it's like okay, it's like I mean Hato's a guy and all, but he thinks he identifies as a girl for lack of a better term in this series. But the thing is, like as they're doing this, not Madarame can't get it up. And I think okay, this is gonna be it. Like it's gonna be like okay, he can't get it up, so they're not gonna have sex. No harm, no foul. Okay. And as this is happening, Not Hato gets so upset about this. Like no, I've dreamed about this ever since we were in college together. And then he realizes, but no, senpai, because you're an uke.
Not Madarame is still there, huh?
Not Madarame is totally an uke, and we cut to a scene where it's like the an exterior shot of their apartment complex, and Not Madarame is going, ah! And then we cut to like scenes where Not Hato is cleaning up after things and like saying goodbye to Not Madarame, and Not Madarame is going, well, I guess that kind of constitutes cheating, doesn't it? And in the half chapter that was published after that's been scanlated after that, Not Hato talks to not Yabuki, or I can't remember the stout girl that he had hooked up with, and she says like that. She's like, well, how'd it go? It's like, well, he didn't do me. It's like I did him, and so it's like, well, how was he? It's like he was super cute.
Yep, that's Madarame, not Madarame's fate.
Yeah, and it's like it's like as awful hilarious as this is. It's like it's one of those things like I could totally see this happening, like if we're accepting like not Madarame's character as being the same as Madarame's character, but at the same time, it's like you've cheated on your wife right after she's just had your kid. You are a fucking horrible person, and you deserve like all sorts of awfulness that's going to be visited upon you. And well, I guess we're just going to have to wait to find out what happens in this regard, whether it's either from like the scanlations or if Kodansha decides to announce that they've picked this up for release later in this year, which I really kind of doubt. In fact, it's kind of interesting because the one quote I've read on the Scanlator site, where like if you click on like on their translation for Spotted Flower, it says like, hey, I've read through the current translations of the Italian scanlation of the manga. If you guys want to stop doing this right now, I'll understand.
Man, it hurt you that much, huh?
It hurt this guy that much. And, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, it's like if this is what I have to look forward to, oh man, it's like I mean, on one hand, like I really kind of like those first two volumes of Spotted Flower. So it was a nice tonic after the after reading through like all of Genshiken's second season. But this, but like I said, with when you cheat on your wife after she's just had your kid, it's kind of like, no, man, no. It's like you're a fucking horrible person. Like, no matter how believable that this act is or characterization goes, it's kind of like that's fucking horrible, really. And it's an awful note to leave off on. So it's kind of like I'm basically marinating in this like plot development. So it's kind of like, man, it's like what else do you have to throw at me, Kiyoshimoku? What do you got for me now? So there you go. It's like, I guess so. Like, yeah, it's like if you wanted to check out Spotted Flower as kind of like a hey, like maybe it was a nice alternate future for Genshiken after second season. No, it's not. At least just read the first two volumes. Don't read anything after that. Don't read anything after that. Really.
All right. So for the rest of you who aren't so put off by, not Madarame fulfilling his uke role, for the rest of you, and me, I don't know. I kind of feel like reading the rest of this. I mean, it's a dark take on where these characters could go.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, it's like I guess it also illustrates one of the biggest problems I have with scanlations, in the sense that it's like there's really no, it's like it is kind of like random as far as like, and sometimes like there are like certain groups, like a couple of good everyday heroes that are really diligent about like translating a series like as soon as it comes out, and it's like, but with Spotted Flower and the groups that's translating, yet they seem to be really taking their time with it. So it's kind of like, it's like maybe I'm sure we'll eventually get some follow up on it, but at the same time though, it's kind of like, will it be like tomorrow? Will it be next week? Next month? October?
Hey, whatever.
There
There's
you go.
scanlation groups. They don't get paid. They do it whenever, dude.
Yeah, but at the same time though, it's like like there's some scanlation groups that you can count on to like, get shit done, and there are those that, well, it's like eventually they'll get to it, for reasons, and kind of like say, we both like Groundless, right, Steve?
Yeah, I wonder where that's gone.
Yeah, so you see what I'm talking about here.
Sure. I mean,
that's kind of what I'm feeling. What I'm feeling with Spotted Flower.
All right. But again, you just they don't get paid for this. They do it whenever. Can't get too worked up about it.
No, you're right. But at the same time, though, it's like as I mentioned before, I'm still marinating in this like awful but believable plot development from from Spotted Flower. But oh god, we need to end on a positive note. So, Delicious in Dungeon, Steve. That's completely awesome, right, Steve? Right?
Yes, unequivocally awesome.
Yeah, even more so because I know you love all sorts of fantasy stuff. I mean, you love it. I mean, it's like you live it, you breathe it. It's
Excuse me?
Yeah, I'm right, aren't I?
Let's just proceed. I will not tell you you're right, but please proceed.
No. So tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm right, man.
I will not.
Because like if I'm wrong and like you absolutely hate this shit, then the fact that you actually like Delicious in Dungeon is kind of more of an achievement for itself, right?
Yeah, it's a well realized series. It's about the logistics of dungeon exploring. I feel like it's a series that does a really good job of fully fleshing out, like this imaginary dungeon the ecology and the ecology of the creatures that live within. I think it does a really good job of really really fully thinking out these details rather than just sort of hand waving a lot of the messier aspects of it. Especially when it comes to, as you might have guessed by the title, having to eat to live, right?
Yeah. So basically, you're saying it does a better job of world building compared to most other fantasy-based series.
By far, I can't think of any other series that has done such a good job of like really, selling the world in which these characters inhabit.
It's like, I guess, compared to like, say, Grimgar, Fantasy, and Ash, or like Death March to a Parallel World.
Look, I'm so done with like isekai or other world sort of like things. It's very popular nowadays. It's super popular. It's kind of like the it'd be akin to, say, the battle royale craze in like shooters nowadays, or fucking all the Sword Art Online alikes that came up after that thing came out. I think it's like that. At this point, like otherworld fantasy shit is like the thing in Japan right now.
Yeah, and like, well, not only does like Delicious in Dungeon say nuts to that,
Yes.
it actually does a good job of like just fleshing out its own specialized reality, and making you long for like some of like the crazy dungeon based delicious dishes it serves up.
It is convenient, and it is a happy convenience that a lot of things they eat happen to have real world analogs. They just happen to be coming from dungeon creatures.
Agreed. And it's like I'm sure we will both continue to like follow the series in scanlated form and in print form as well, because God knows that
They need the help.
yes, it's like I no idea whether or not the Delicious in Dungeon anime is coming anytime soon, but Silver Spoon, it's like you can buy like 2 seasons of it like in anime form, and the first volume of manga is out right now. Volume 2 will be coming out very soon as well. Kaguya-sama, the first volume, is out right now as well. Whether or not there's going to be an anime, I certainly hope so. But it's like it deserves. Like, go out and buy that as well, because it deserves all the success it gets. Because it's like, hey, Steve and I are both like well outside its target audience age, and we love it. Creepy as that may seem, right?
We're really normal people, honest.
Yeah. So, John, it's like, any thoughts on any of this? Do you think we're creepy for all this love we're showing these series?
No.
Your confidence is heartwarming, sir.
No.
Thank you very much.
No. So yeah. No, I don't think there's. Well, I think just go with Steve's statement there. But yeah, you're brave for going into subjects where maybe others would fear to tread. So outside of that,
I will take that as a compliment.
yeah, that's a compliment. Because you've reviewed some pretty crappy things on this channel. You know that.
Ow. Good old wounded man. Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
Anyway, do you know what you're going to be talking about next time on Comic Picks by the Glick here?
Okay, something I hope to be like equally positive about. That would be it's like a full return for Robert Kirkman, Ryan Otley, and Corey Walker's Invincible.
All right, and we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
All right, laters.
Bye.